Tired of wiping on the same boss for hours?
Die, insect.
Can't seem to win against that new druid deck?
My thanks to you.
Are your teammates not standing on the payload?
Quit lollygagging. Get on the payload.
Well, grab a drink and pull up a chair. This is the Game Case Show, your Blizzard Entertainment podcast. Here are your hosts, Cuddles and Turarts.
Now we can do a show.
Well, hello! Hi, howdy, and welcome to episode 119 of The Game Case. I am Chris, also known as Cuddles, a brewmaster windwalking monk on Airy Peak in the Convert to Raid Guild.
And I am Turt, the Beast Mastery Hunter, also in the Convert to Raid Guild on Airy Peak server.
This week, we're going to talk a little bit about our week in gaming, and then we're going to dive into a little bit of a controversial topic. We have fully dove back into WoW as a podcast. However, something happened this last week coming out of PAX West, and we're going to talk about whether streamers are ruining conventions with one of my favorite people, not just because he smells of blueberries and lilacs, not just because I believe he may be a figment of my imagination, but mostly because he's genuinely one of the nicest people I know and somebody that you should love, like vigorously. Dable, how are you doing tonight?
Did you have some other kind of guest on that isn't I'm not aware of? Because other than the blueberries part.
Yeah, no, we got another guy coming later.
Oh, okay, cool. I'm just I do have excellent taste. I do have excellent taste in body wash. I have been told that. I'm doing quite fantastic. Small rejoins around, personally for me. It's been a decent week here. How are you guys doing? Oh, also sorry, I don't play WoW, so I can't tell you what I play the not thing on any server.
Do you play Hearthstone?
I
He
don't play
overwatches.
You
I do play
Overwatch?
Overwatch. I played a little bit of Heroes of the Storm in the last week as well.
I'm sorry.
It's all right.
I
It was
don't.
fine.
That is the one game. Like, I don't think that it's a bad game. It's alarmingly well done. It's just the one game that, like, it just doesn't. Like, I can do like an hour or two with friends, but I've never booted that game up on my own. Been like, oh, this is fun.
See, I come from a League of Legends in terms of MOBA background, and it's not what I'm looking for in MOBA. So I might go back to League of Legends because I hate myself.
Yeah, you should.
Friends don't let friends play League of Legends, guys.
No, they don't. Or Dota.
That's just not even. No,
Is that not a thing anymore?
it's 100% is still a huge thing.
Okay.
It still has one of the biggest, if not the biggest, prize pools in esports.
Really?
It's just that no one else cares. Like, I don't think, like, that's where, like, Overwatch, even if you don't like Overwatch esports, like, if you're into esports in general, you probably care about what's happening with Overwatch esports because what they're doing is really interesting and moving the industry forward. No one gives a crap about Dota. It's like, hey, the international happens. Oh, okay. Hey, it happened. Neat. There was a winner. See you next year. And that's it.
See, I went to a DreamHack like recently. I think it was last year. I went to DreamHack Atlanta, and I kind of felt that about like most of the things that were there. There were games there that I didn't know that they were still games, but good Lord, people were paying in like $75,000 tournament. Hey, what the hell's going on? Oh my gosh!
Was that the one where the brosips got in the fight while you were on the phone with me?
Yeah, some dude. So there's this fight outside the front of the Atlanta Convention Center, right? Because it's Atlanta, and that's what happened.
That sounds about like Atlanta.
But it's an esports tournament, so I figure, like, you know, it's got to be two kids after a match, right? It wasn't. It was some guy that was there spectating, did something inside of the restaurant next door to the convention center. I don't know what, but he did something horrible enough that the entire staff followed him out and then got in a fist fight with him. Like, you know why I don't go to Atlanta? Because if you piss off the wait staff, they beat the crap out of you.
And it's
That
funny because
scares
that's why
me.
I love Atlanta. But then again, I'm from there, so I'm biased.
Oh, downtown Atlanta is a unique amalgamation of cultures and definitely like socioeconomics running
Yes.
together, and because you have these high-rise buildings and you have the convention center, but then you literally one block behind the convention center is some of the worst neighborhoods in Atlanta.
Yeah, there's a fast food restaurant in downtown Atlanta called the Varsity, which is amazing, by the way.
Yeah.
But if you go there at lunchtime during a workday, you will see someone from every tax bracket in the country, basically, all in one place, all in one line, being yelled at by the people behind the counter. It's pretty phenomenal.
That's awesome.
Also,
That's awesome.
2 chili dogs, onion rings, and an FO. Just if you're in Atlanta, go there. Trust me, I'm always right. Anyway, that's really specific. Nobody cares about this.
And that is your Atlanta Minute, courtesy of Dave.
That's the Atlanta news part of this podcast. On to the next segment.
Well, let's just dive into what we've been up to this week in gaming. So we know you did a little HOTS, but anything else on the agenda?
I bought Slay the Spire yesterday, and I almost regret it because 2 things. One, it's horrifyingly addicting. So I don't remember who said this, but someone said that it is like the worst just one more round game. You just are like, oh, just one, it's fine, just one more. And also, I don't understand how this is a PC only game. I know it's coming to Switch next year, but the fact that this is not on iOS or Android mystifies me because it's perfect for it, and I want to play it everywhere I go. But I've been really enjoying that, just not getting into it. And then the other thing that I'm getting addicted to right now is actually in preparation for another game, Pokemon Go.
Hell yeah.
I left my house for 3 hours today just to go to gyms and Pokestops because I ran out of Pokeballs, and I'm like weirdly like wanting to get my quests done.
Have you found like that like magic like bar or restaurant where you can go and like you have your table and there's like 3 Pokestops all around you and you just sit there for like an hour, have lunch, and rack up?
The Starbucks downtown was pretty good. 2 gyms and 2 additional Pokestops all in one little area, which is pretty good. And then the park near my house is pretty good. So like Friday night, I went out for like an hour and a half, did like a nice 3-mile walk just to like get some stops, beat a gym, and do that and stock up. It's good. It's a really good way to get exercise. But I'm like, hi, I'm almost 30. And I'm going to go walk around for video games. But I've got my girlfriend into it now, and she doesn't even really like Pokemon. And that makes me happy. That's going to make me feel like less of a nerd, because I'll at least have somebody else there with me.
Aw. See, I find I like going out on my own and like encountering other Pokemoners and like having random conversations with like 87-year-old women after like a Squirtle. Like,
So I was talking to Holly about this. Like I think Pokemon Go actually has my favorite video game moment of all time. Out of every experience I've ever had with video games, it's Pokemon Go for me, because the weekend it came out, and like once the servers actually started working, I went on to the local college campus, it's a big college where I live, and it was just everyone was out playing and catching Pokemon. And it was every kind of person. It was your typical people you would expect. It was like professors. It was families there with their kids. Literally the universities, football players and cheerleaders were out there, like everyone. And you would just hear random, like, I got a Pikachu, from like someone you would not normally expect to go out in public and scream the word Pikachu under any circumstance. And it was amazing. It was like, oh man, like this is what technology is doing. This is what video games is doing. This is what a childhood kind of continuing into adult life. is doing, and it was all this beautiful, and like everyone was happy, and it was very nice. And I was like, this is kind of amazing. And then 2 weeks later, everyone had forgotten about it.
Oh.
For the most part. I mean, it actually has a really big community, which I'm finding out. But they announced that the Pokemon Let's Go games are going to integrate into Pokemon Go. So I'm like, well, I guess I'm going to pick up Pokemon Go again to get prepped, because I'm going to be playing the crap out of Pokemon Let's Go. But that's what I've been doing. Slay the Spire and Pokemon Go. I'm a nerd.
Nice. T, what about you?
World of Warcrafting. I have finally quested out Storm Song Valley, so I am now trying to find Jaina, which I was like, oh, this is going to be easy. We're going to do a couple quests here, a couple quests there. No, it's a long quest chain. I don't even know how far through I am. I'm still trying to collect things and kill things. So we'll see. But outside of that, I loaded up PUBG again. I still suck. It's still suck bad. But I actually played it before this podcast real quick, and somehow the bathroom door got locked, so we had to, because 5 or 6-year-old had to go potty, so we had to figure out how to like get it unlocked, because it wasn't unlocking how we thought it should unlock. And I was inside the blue zone, and I came back, and no one had touched me, and I literally had stopped running like in the open, and I'm just like, gosh, well, I'm gonna die. That's fine. Like, my kid's more important. Came back, I'm like, oh, okay, well, guess we'll run to the next one. That looks good. So that was pretty epic. Outside of that, oh God, what did I do? There was another game, and I forgot it, so it must not have been that important. Yeah, I can't remember what it was. It was a phone game. It wasn't math, though. It was not a math game, Cuddles. But there was a phone game. Oh!
Math faster on your phone? What's happening?
No, there's a math game. Like, you can do, oh my God. So it's different levels, and you have to figure out solutions. And it has geometry in it, too. So you have, like, acute triangles and isosceles triangles, and you have to figure out how, oh my God, it was so much fun.
This is nightmare. What is... I'm with Cuddles. No, this is horrifying. Like the first, like, I don't know, 10, 12 podcasts that I was actually a co-host on. I was like, and on this math game, I got to level. I beat it, though, and I don't know what it was because I deleted it because there's no point in having it anymore. Not a higher replayability in geometry.
It was so amazing. But yeah, and then on an unrelated note, Cuddles, do you remember that wonderful coloring book that we made for the CTR party last year?
Yes.
I finally colored a picture in it. So we made, for those that may not know, for the we're not having one this year, but we did a party at BlizzCon for CTR that we crowdfunded, and last year we decided to do an adult coloring book type thing with different WoW characters. We had community artists make it and stuff, and I've just been kind of hanging on to it, not coloring in it because I didn't want to, but I finally popped that cherry and did it.
That's awesome.
So yeah,
I should
how
get
was your
mine
week?
now.
It's so fun. It's relaxing. Do the cute kitty.
Okay, I'm gonna make this happen. No, my week was wonderful. It really was. This was like the first week back from PAX West, like the first full week, so I'm finally feeling human again. I've been playing Spider-Man on the PS4. That is a phenomenal game. If you don't own a PS4 and you are financially able, go buy one right now. You just go buy one right now. Buy Spider-Man and Uncharted. There's a bunch of other games that are really good that are exclusive, but buy Spider-Man and Uncharted. Play Spider-Man, play Uncharted, throw the PS4 in the trash. You're done with it now. No, but like really and truly, it's the PlayStation. I've always been an Xbox fanboy. I can hands down say that I got into PS4 really late in the console cycle, like within the last year, and I don't regret having one at all. I don't need another machine or another thing to keep track of. PlayStation in this new Spider-Man game is entirely worth. I have also been completely addicted to World of Warcraft again. So I raided for the first time last week with the Rubber Chickens.
I saw that.
And I am actually like, I'm really embarrassed about that now. So I went in knowing that I was undergeared, but not realizing how ridiculously undergeared I was until the end of the raid. So at the end of the raid, everybody's like, "Oh yeah, LFR is open. Blah blah blah. Let's go do LFR." I realized I was 25 item levels under being able to even do LFR. I went into Old Ear with 295. Now that said, I was still not the last DPS on the chart. I feel like I wasn't totally carried. I was ranking above the healers, and usually there was 2 or 3 DPS under me. So I don't know how they were geared. But I was not, like, I didn't feel like I was a complete carry. But we went through there, I think we killed 3 bosses. Had a whole lot of fun. It's good to be raiding again. But this last week in my spare time, I'm now up to 325. I'm honored with everybody. I've been doing archaeology. By the way, I'm addicted to archaeology.
It's amazing. There are pets and mounts.
Yeah, Cuddles is actually sitting out in Stranglethorn Vale right now doing archaeology. Because I completed all the world quests that I could for equipment, and then I kind of got bored. And then I also have found a new thing in my life that I really want to go try, and that's the Accomplished Angler achievement that gets you the Salty title that involves a ridiculous amount of fishing and winning the Stranglethorn Vale fishing contest.
I still haven't won that after playing since 09.
I'm going to make that a point. We're going to do that on stream one day. I'm going to go out, I'm going to figure out when it starts, and we're just going to sit there until I get 40 jolly fish or whatever it is. Tasty fish. There we go. Because I've been fishing out there for an hour while doing archaeology, and I haven't gotten one. So I don't know if I'm in the wrong place or it's just super hard. But yeah, now that we've gotten all of my gaming out of the way, why don't we move into something that Dable actually can understand?
I just been fishing.
We just continued the conversation in another. We should do that, Turarts. We should learn another language, and that can just be we'll do 5 minutes of the show where we're just talking in something else. It's got to be weird though, something that
You could have made up everything that you just said, and I 100% would have believed you.
You should have understood archaeology, otherwise your girlfriend might throw something at you.
Well, no, I guarantee you not, because I bet that she would see it, say, "This isn't real archaeology," and then hate it, and I'd be fine.
This isn't real archaeology. What the hell is this video game, people?
She's been playing the new Tomb Raider and very much liking it, but she gets annoyed when Lara Croft does things like destroy old stuff.
Oh, yeah.
You're not a good archaeologist if you're destroying old pots all willy-nilly just to see there's bullets in it.
Also, why are there bullets in these ancient pots?
I also really don't want to. I still am marveled that, hey, you haven't opened this for thousands of years. Candles are still on.
The lights just come on every room that she walks in. That's ancient Mesopotamia was known for its automation, and
it's just really long candle life, long burning wicks,
58-foot tall candles, just in case anybody came in 1,000 years later. That's what they've done. It's technological marvel.
It's not realistic.
I just had to replace 3 light bulbs in my bedroom, and I haven't even lived in this house for 10 years. I mean, what the hell? We're going backwards here.
Get some Assyrian candles, you'll be fine.
But you're not here to talk about Assyrian candlery. Although that possible bonus episode for our Patreons. Also, we don't have a Patreon, so that episode's never getting out. But we are here to talk about something that happened this last week. So I was out. I get to travel to a lot of conventions, and happened to be at PAX West. Had a wonderful time. Security was top notch, by the way. We won't dive into that.
You can't do that. You can't.
I
tempt
really
me with
want
these
to.
things.
We will get to that if we have time. What we're here to talk about is there was a large amount of outrage, specifically over on Reddit. There is what is it? Reddit.com/r/ I think it's PAX official, or maybe just PAX. These are things that you should prepare before a podcast, by the way, for anyone looking to get into podcasting. But no, there was a lot of hate. There was a lot of vitriol over the claim that PAX is going downhill. PAX has been ruined. It is a horrible experience, and it is the fault of online broadcasters and the media that is happening. We are the scum of the earth. We are purposefully inconveniencing convention goers, and we're a bunch of entitled asshats that have no idea what's actually going on. So I specifically use that phrase because I know Dable enjoys talking about streamer entitlement, and this should be fun because I is a streamer. Dable frequently talks about how you don't stream for business, for monetary gain as your main financial source of income. You're having fun. I'm not. This thing pays some of my bills, not all of them, but some of them, and it's an important financial thing for me. So two totally different perspectives, and I'm gonna shut up. Dable, what do you think? Are streamers running conventions?
No. So I didn't really I didn't hear any of this outrage. Like when you first read it, I was like, oh, that's news to me. But it sounds exactly like something that Reddit would say. So I just 100% believe you. I can empathize, right? It's like trying to be a better person, trying to put myself in other people's shoes. Okay, I can see where the emphasis is to say this used to be a convention where I could come and see friends, see cool things, see games, and I could see things, and I could have an easy time doing it. And with the growth in popularity of these conventions, that has changed. I think it's just really simple to scapegoat streamers because they are getting special treatment. Streamers are getting invited to special, individual events. They are given opportunities to get hands on things without waiting in a 30+ minute long line, depending on what it is. They are getting that. I think it comes down to, we talk about streamer entitlement. Let's be real clear. It's there and it's terrible. This is not one of those times, though, weirdly enough. This is entitlement of just morons on the internet. It's one of the things where streamers are being used as a marketing tactic by companies. I know this very well because that's my job, is to do that. And it's a great marketing tactic because it works very well. And because those people market to all the people on Reddit complaining about the fact that they don't have immediate access to all of these things. Sorry, welcome to the world. It doesn't cater to your every want and need about you specifically. So just shut up and deal with it, and either go to the convention, have fun in your own way, or just don't go anymore.
Yeah.
Stop being a jerk.
Maturo brought up the point that I was going to bring, is that these events kind of change and evolve over time. And as streaming has become more of a spotlight, like you said, the companies have realized they can use this marketing tool to better promote their games, their merchandise, whatever it is, because the streamers, like who's on right now, Kitbogue is on right now, and he has probably a lot of people, 3,500 people on there. Like, that's a ton of people that you can influence. Whereas if my sister was in a booth, like, no, she's not going to influence anyone. Maybe one person.
Well, and I don't think it's not entirely that others are not influential. It's simply that their influence isn't proven on paper. That's what it is at the end of the day. I don't wait in lines for games because I don't have to. I don't have to because I've put in work to produce a miserable product that allows me. 3 years ago, it may have been 4 years ago, a while ago, in a galaxy far, far away, I went to PAX East 2.5 weeks after I quit my job. I was unemployed at PAX East, wandering around. No one knew me. I stood in line for games. I didn't go to any after parties or do anything special. There was a meetup one day for Bad News Gaming. And that was actually the day that I decided to do this thing full time. But I've done the convention that way. And then for 3 years, I put in work in this industry through both my professional life and my other professional life. It's something I earned that. I have put in work to get to that point. I don't think buying you a ticket gives you the right to bitch about somebody else that has done work to get to a point where they can walk in a booth because they've done something. Which is not to say that you haven't done something in your life, but you haven't done something in the video games industry that is got you to the front of that line.
Yeah, or you have maybe even done things, but part of it is, I see a lot on Twitter and other social medias where it's like, oh, streaming isn't just sitting down and playing a game. And that said, like that's like some kind of newsflash. I think most people that watch streamers actually have a good understanding of that. I think that it's just that they didn't actually see the work. So potentially the understanding of what it is, or they're looking at an end product, which in this case is either the viewership numbers or the perks that come with it, like being able to just skip lines or being invited to do special things. And they don't necessarily fully understand how we got there, right? They didn't know Cuddles 4 years ago when he was not known by anybody at these conventions either. Like they don't recognize that they're in the same position that, when he started, that you are now when you're starting your journey as a content creator, if that's what you're doing. Or it's one of those things where you have to say, like, yeah, you as a viewer don't have the stress and have all the work that you have to put into towards entertainment for like things like this. And you just are a consumer of it. And you want to go to these conventions to see cool things that you're going to buy in the future, games, whatever it is. Like, that's great. You are going to benefit from the fact that you get to go to a convention and enjoy it and have fun. I went to TwitchCon last year. I didn't have fun. I worked. I happen to have had fun also as a side effect, but I worked. I spent my entire time at TwitchCon talking to people and trying to accomplish things. I didn't really and even when I was on the show floor and looking around at things, it was like, hey, that's really neat. Can I do anything with this with work? Because that's the industry that I'm in. That's the job that I have. As a streamer, you're like, hey, this game is really cool. But that's not the end of the thoughts. It's, okay, this game is cool and I really like it. Will my community like it? Can I see a future in streaming it a lot? Do I think this is going to be a successful game? Do I think this is a company that I can work with? Do they have people that I seem to jive with? And if the answer to those is no, then they need to focus on something else because it's not going to further their career. This is the part we talk about networking that makes it sound bad to some people, but Cuddles has to pay his bills with this channel and other things that he does related to this. So the games that he plays are, sure, he might like it, but also have to be tactically picked and done correctly so that it works out good for him and his wife and his kid and his future. So he doesn't get to go and just play Anthem and say, I like this game, or screw EA, this is terrible. That's a luxury that people like Cuddles and myself in different ways, when we go to these conventions, we don't have that. We have stress. this is work. It's a 4-day marathon of work where we also
yeah.
are going to be standing up and walking around because we're out of shape and real in pain in the feet. Like, so, you know, I think it's just like this cost benefit analysis that a lot of people just don't do. All they see is the good part of it. By the way, here's where I'm going to flip side this. The fact that people only see the good part of it is actually a failure on streamers. So, quick content tip, because I don't see any streamers really doing this. If you want to stop people saying, oh, you've had it easy, oh, all you do is blank, blah, 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 you could go on Twitter or go on these Reddit threads and defend yourself. You will convince precisely 0 people of what the truth is. It's just not a good way of doing it. Nobody cares what you say. They only care what you do and what they see you do. So if you want to prove this point, you should be vlogging on YouTube, showing the back end of what you do. You should vlog these conventions, go back out over voiceovers, and explain what you were actually doing the whole time. That would fix the problem, because you say, no, actually, it wasn't me skipping the line so I could play a game and have fun. It was actually this situation. Is this something that you want? Great, go be a content creator. No, have fun watching.
Well, and that was one of the other big complaints was streamer pods at the booths, and of course the Twitch partner lounge having quote. Well, I won't say quote because this isn't a quote, and that's how you use that word. So I'm not going to do that. Rough summation. That the Twitch booth and the streamer pods are taking up valuable convention space that could be used to show them more games. Which I think is really a waste of space was most certainly something that was mentioned time and time again, that streamers are wasting space. However, if you watch a single moment of Twitch and have ever seen anyone collaborate, like 2 of your favorite streamers doing something together, I can promise you that a lot of those conversations are born out of that Twitch partner lounge, which is, I would point out, the only place on the floor. No, not me. I can wander around in anonymity for days on end. However, larger streamers, sometimes that's the only place that they can stop and take a break. They can't go and hang out in the cafeteria like a normal con attendee. That is the one place that they can spend a little bit of time with their fellow content creators, talking business, making new relationships, doing the thing that Dable just described as he gets to do while he's there. We are quite literally there to get a job done. We are content creators that get to skip a line aren't skipping a line because oh cool, look at me, I'm skipping the line. Although I won't lie, the first few 100 times you do that, you may think it just a little. It is a cool feeling. Like I can't lie about that. It's neat, but I'm skipping to the front of that line because if it's between me going and doing some work or me waiting 2 hours to play this game, guess how many games I will play? Probably 0. Because that then takes me over a 6 or 7 hour convention day down to 2 games that I can see.
Yeah.
No, like he mentioned, I rely on this financial income. If I can see 2 games, like the convention then becomes not worth it for me. So it's a matter of there having to be value in it for us too. So I think there's a little bit of a give and take there. Because if there weren't some of these things, you wouldn't have streamers at conventions. Several people have mentioned in chat, including Tiber, that that the only reason he gives a hoot, he used the right word, and then I was going to use a foul one. The only reason he gives a hoot about PAX is that streamers I watch make them sound fun. That's the thing. Like purely from the standpoint of a con goer, if I wasn't close to one or I didn't have friends going to one, I don't know that I would go to one on my own. I'm just going to go ahead and throw that out there. Line Simulator 2018 and gigantic fucking jostling crowd of unwashed like people, and it's not actually that bad. Most people smell okay. I don't know that it's a great experience, to be perfectly honest, but I don't think that that's streamers either.
Yeah, I object to the just general concept of calling it a waste of valuable space from a purely economical standpoint. Also, if it wasn't a valuable, or if it was not being properly used for what its value is, then Twitch wouldn't have bought it, or PAX wouldn't have sold it for the amount of money that they did. So you're literally wrong if you say that. Like, not even like opinion and intention and what you mean behind is aside, you are actually inaccurate. And therefore, any opinions based around that piece of evidence is also wrong. I don't believe that everyone's opinions are, oh, you're entitled to have your own opinions, but yeah, there's such a thing as wrong opinions that are based on not factual information. You may not feel good about it, and that's fine. You're a human. You cannot feel good about things. But tough cookies, this is facts. You cannot change them. They are valuable. They were valued, and the market found the value and paid that value. Purely from economics, you're wrong. Now, as for what point is, shut up. Like, yeah, like sometimes people are you're not allowed to go in every room in a hospital either, but I don't see people complaining about that.
Those damn doctors get use of that break room over there. There's a
Yeah,
valuable place they can put another bed in there. They don't deserve coffee and snacks.
Yeah, and Tiber bringing up something great in chat. You know, before it was streamers, it was game journalists who we're just gonna leave it at that.
Valuable pool of humanity.
That's a sip of the Coke right now. But yeah, I mean, it's if you want to skip the line, then go put in some work to make you worth skipping a line. Like, sorry, as a company, there are people that are worth my time more than others. Like, so straight up, I'm not going to mention names, but there are streamers that we work with at BottleSpark. Yes, some are literally more worth my time than others. Because as a business, which is what everybody that bought show floor space is, they have to make it worth their money based on the time available. And sorry, person that's just going to maybe buy the game or potentially legally download it is not that useful to them than person with even 5 viewers on a stream. It's just facts. It's just economics.
Yeah.
Actually, learn some economics. It'll do you a lot of good in life. Just a general tip.
Yeah, no, that's beautiful. No, but I can't remove myself from where I am within the industry to step outside and have this thought that, like, fuck the streamers, because it's just I is one, and on the point of Dable's time being more worth, I have several folks that I talk to within the industry, Dable and JT being two of them, Slate from over at 505s, and Brandon from Versus Evil. These are guys that I've made friends with, and I enjoy all of their company. And I usually am able to go to these folks for myself personally and ask for things, and sometimes get them, sometimes not. But at the same time, I realize where I am in the strata of streamers. And that's not a knock on myself. It's not that is not a self-deprecating remark. It's more so there's numbers attached to this thing, and you can see them. And I can't argue with the numbers. I am fully aware of where I is. Now the problem is, not all streamers are aware of that abject.
I was like, man, I wish we could make people go through the Cuddles class for they could make their Twitch login.
I mean, it's simple. Okay, cool. I'm a Twitch partner. That's great. You know what that means? Exactly nothing. Like absolutely nothing. I will say it makes it that is generally one of the, and I giggle every time I hear it. That's one of the first questions out of any dev or PR company. Are you a partner? Like, does it matter? Because no,
Yes.
it doesn't, but it is a qualifier for them, so I get it. It's an easy way to figure out whether or not to open the gate.
Yes.
However, at the end of the day, there are a lot of other things that you guys can see on my page right now. There's a lot of other numbers that make more sense and are more meaningful. And one of the complaints out of this Reddit thread was that a couple streamers were actually acting a little snobbish about it. So like, I know when I go to a booth, I don't walk past the line up to the front.
Losers.
Look at these suckers. Like, no, I will generally approach the booth from a non-lined entrance and grab one of the staff members and let them know. I'm like, oh, hey, I had a Dauntless, perfect example. I walked over to one of their guys that was handing stuff out, walked up to him, he handed me a thing, and I was like, excuse me, I have a 3:30 meeting with Bunhead, Ruth Ann, one of their community managers. He's like, oh, hey, no problem. He disappeared for a moment. Ruth Ann came out. I walked into the booth. No big deal. Have you ran it? Well, I don't know. That might be too specific. But do you think streamers are becoming too entitled? Like, maybe that's the broader conversation here.
That's the wrong tense for what I feel. It's not becoming. It's became. Yeah, I mean, some absolutely. There's some that are incredible. Like streamers. I am guilty of this a lot. Streamers is not a existent group to me. It's a hugely disparate and different group. There are obviously genres of kinds of streamers, and within those genres, you have easily definable characteristics. We'll make it easy. Crappy and not crappy human beings. There's plenty of both. Yes, there absolutely are horribly entitled streamers that I would love nothing more than to sit down, duct tape their mouth, and tell them everything that they're doing wrong with their life in general, but specifically with how they act as a streamer. But there's also ones way bigger and way smaller than any of those that are doing everything right, or just generally excellent human beings. Usually ones that I sit and make time for podcasts, etc. So yes, there are those. But here's the thing. Every person that went onto a Reddit thread or a Twitter thread to complain about PAX not being for the everyday man anymore is literally the same way. They're mad that they're not getting what they want. That is the definition of entitlement. That's it, man. Like, I do think that there is a bit of a reckoning. And I think that partners that think that that little check mark does make their doo-doo not stink will have some rude awakenings in the future. I think that, you know, the same doesn't apply. I don't think that partner means nothing. I think partner means actually a lot. Again, I work in the advertising side of things. If I see that partner check, I can start at a base level of quality and experience and knowledge, right? If I don't see that, I've got to figure out where they are in that. Like, it is not an end-all be-all, but it is definitely does mean something. If nothing less, it means some amount of work was put in. Nobody got their partnership that easily. I'm going to put that statement out there that I know a lot of people disagree with. There was some kind of hustle behind it. I think that the internet as a whole has made it easy to complain about things that we don't like, which is great, because boy, do I love doing that. But the flip side of that is that we assume that because people have started liking and retweeting our complaints or upvoting or whatever it is, our complaints is something we don't like, that means it matters at all. Ultimately, the fact that PAX is becoming more about streamers or more about marketing or less about just getting everyday average people to play games, that has absolutely no impact large scheme in the grand scale of the universe, which will eventually die a heat death, and all energy will stop, and life as we know it will cease to exist ever again. So, who cares about a convention having to wait in line 30 minutes for a game?
It's sad.
Dude, nihilism will destroy any argument of entitlement. It's fantastic.
However, knowing that we only have a finite time on this earth, isn't every moment precious?
Yes, exactly.
Oh, see, there you go. So that extra 5 minutes that I had to wait because some asshole streamer wanted to play FIFA 2017. That has never been at a
Don't wait in line any for FIFA 17. You can go to GameStop. It's $5.
All the things that I could pick out. No, so there was actually a game at PAX, and I'm not gonna mention it. But there was a game that I played. I got roped into it. We had an odd number of air assaults there for stack up. So it was a 4-person game. And I just happened to be walking by, and they grabbed me. And they're like, "Hey, you want to go in with the air assault to play this game?" It was a genre of game that I would enjoy. I sat down, and like 45 minutes into their damn demo, I'm just like, I'm looking around like, what the hell is going on? But they had a really good swag bag. So I finished the game, and I felt so bad because I was tired. It was either Sunday or Monday. PAX West goes for 4 days, and that's ridiculous. But the guy asked me, he's like, "So how'd you like it?" I was like, "Well, I enjoyed the first 20 minutes. And she just like walked off. And I felt bad because I played that game for probably 40 minutes. Really good. Yes. Go ahead, Matoro. But no, it's people are too entitled and streamers aren't running conventions. There you go.
Yeah.
TLDR.
Yeah.
That's what we got.
Reddit is largely ruining everything, though. So that's fine.
Yeah. I don't think that's wrong. I don't think that's wrong. I was not bold enough. I thought about posting on Reddit, like on the thread defending streamers and then posting that we were doing this. And then I was like, "Nah, I don't need Reddit here." Like
there's no good. There's no good to be had there.
There's zero upside to Reddit coming here. They can stay over there.
By the way, totally the same applies for reddit.com/r/Twitch. Dear God, what a cesspool that place is. And yet, read it daily because I hate myself.
Yeah, I'm like a once a week guy over there. But every now and again, there are a couple like gems in there.
Every now and then, yes.
There is some actual quality things.
It is. Ooh, man, there's a lot of dookie to get through to get to those. But again, the petty part of me wins every now and then, and I gobble it up. Every now and then a comment too, and usually doesn't end well. Do you engage
with these folks?
Sometimes.
Okay.
Sometimes.
Okay.
Because sometimes they just say things that are very wrong, and I have a hard time letting that go. And usually with people that I know and love, I work very hard at trying to not point it out constantly. But I don't care about these people at all, so I don't have to. It's my release. Look, I never said I was a perfect person, okay? These are things that I do with my day. It only takes 3 seconds.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about Bottle Spark? Because I think that's you guys are doing amazing things. You're two individuals in yourself and JT that like I instantly kind of fell in love with the both of you guys. I've sat in a mansion in the Hollywood Hills with one of you.
Wasn't me, sadly.
That was an incredible experience.
I don't know how he manages to do things. I stopped questioning it a long time ago. Bottom Spark is a company that helps connect influencers, someone like a Cuddles here, with advertisers. So basically, we do focus on live streaming video. So that is a huge focus on Twitch. Twitch is my primary platform of focus for the most part, but I do pay attention to YouTube stuff as well, Mixer stuff, caffeine. I could do an hour on caffeine, but we won't do that. And also even just like Instagram influencers we have, things like that. But yeah, so we run promotions and stuff like that with companies. So we're wrapping up one that we did with Atlantic Records to promote Cardi B's album. We have one going on right now that is going to be with Wink, which is a wine delivery service here in the US. Hey, if you're on this stream right now, you can scroll down and you see that little HP Omen link on Cuddle's stream. Go ahead and click on it and buy something. We did that as well. So yeah, we're just whether it's think of like setting up free products, doing affiliate type things with coupon codes or links, or even just flat put this on your stream and you get paid X dollars is things that you do. That's what we do. We also have a lot of resources, like our Discord has like an FTC channel that is there to answer questions about like, oh, when do I have to use hashtag ad, blah, blah, blah. We actually have a lawyer that specializes on this stuff in that channel to answer questions. She's a real lawyer in like 27 states, I think she said.
Wow.
They have lawyers in all 50 states. I think she only
Okay,
practices in some.
A few. We have advertising people that like actually run the advertiser side of these things to answer questions. So yeah, we try to do more than just like, hey, we want to help you make money. We want to help you like actually do it well. Yeah, we also recently brought on someone new and fantastic who says degrading things like she only minorly helps. I would be probably still way behind on emails and such if it were not for her. Turarts is working with us now, which makes me very happy. You have no freaking clue. But yeah, we do things like that. And thankfully, we want to be very honest about the state of the industry, about best practices, about value, because it's something that's very hard. Like if you were to ask Cuddles, hey, what dollar amount is your stream worth? That would be, I think I kind of made me know if you're lucky.
Yeah, like I could toss you a number based on concurrency and industry norms, but
which are lad, there's no such thing about that. That's a little myth I would like to bust right now for you.
Yeah. I used air quotes for our at-home listeners.
They're heavy on that. But yeah, so like it's that kind of stuff that we want to be very transparent about. So we don't want to just like throw money or whatever it is at people. We want to make sure that we focus on the education side of it, how to do it well, how to make sure you're not making a fool of yourself while doing it, how to not kill your community. That's something I see a lot, where streamers will try to jump into too much with check out my affiliate code for this, my coupon code for this, when this is this. Like, dude, you don't care about any of these companies. Slow down. And you're gonna drive your community away if you try to use them too much at that. So it's things like that we try to help with, because we want to we want to bring in advertising to Twitch and Mixer and YouTube Live, but we don't want it to suck.
Yeah,
it's real important to us, because that's I mean, JT and I met essentially through like Twitch and YouTube, so we don't want to ruin it, but we would like it if everyone could stress about money a little bit less.
Yeah,
that'd be pretty nice. So, yeah, bottlespark.com is a good way. Is this the time where I can say these things? Should I say these things?
You can say those things anytime,
Okay.
man.
Yeah, so bottlespark.com is our website. We're going to have, like, you'll be able to log into your own accounts and stuff very soon. People are actually already doing it. So for some beta tests, which makes me happy because I don't have to look at spreadsheets as much. And on Twitter, we're at GoBottlespark. You can go to DM us there. Someone will probably respond. It'll probably be me. But and then on Wednesdays we do a podcast on twitch.tv/Bottlespark, where we talk to that's where we talk to a lawyer. We literally talked for an hour answering questions about FTC guidelines for when to use #ad. Last week we talked to an advertising manager who basically wrangled the influencers and the street bloggers was really who she mostly worked with for companies. This week we have Memory Express's partnership manager, which I'm really excited for. Captain Quench, I like that boy. So I'm excited to chat with him for an hour about hey, this is what companies look for when picking people to work with, stuff like that. So again, very focused on education, very focused on answering people's questions.
And I have to, so there's two. If you're a streamer, and you're actually serious about streamering, there's two things that you should watch on Twitch. One of them is Fridays office hours with OPG. They're like a top tier talent management agency, and they do some really cool shit. The other thing that you should be watching is BottleSpark's Wednesday thing, hands down. I've gotten more great information out of BottleSpark and the people surrounding BottleSpark than I think I have probably any other source in the last 3 years. And they've been around. You guys have been around for what, 2 years now?
Under that.
Okay.
You guys hit year in July.
Year and a half or so that JT and I were kicking around, starting the work. Yeah. We became BottleSpark, the actual name of it, the end of July/August of last year.
Nice.
We were otherwise Project V for Violet. The original name we wanted to go with that I still loved was Violet Runner. But we were told that in a investors meeting we'd be laughed at. So we didn't go with that. But that's just me being mad at JT. We're not going to go into that.
No, I actually think this is something we should explore deeply.
Oh. Okay, so for the next hour, I'm going to talk about all my grievances with the CEO of my company.
This sounds like a glorious idea. I took my work shirt off. So obviously, it is your turn.
Honestly, you could get a voice modulator. He'll never know.
No, he'd be mad that he wouldn't be here to hear it live, to be honest, because I think he would enjoy that.
Oh, good Lord.
But yeah, if you want to make money while doing streaming and do it well, hey, how are you? I know some people that can help you with that. Also, we help streamers or content creators of basically any size. So don't hesitate to say hi.
Yeah, go meet these guys. They're entirely worth. I have, you already mentioned it, but
Oh, snap. Look at that keyboard. Hey, what do you think about that, huh?
Right here. I actually have loved this keyboard. I replaced a over $120 higher low. It depends on whether or not you like keyboards, if that's a high-end keyboard. If you've never purchased a keyboard before, that is very high-end. If you're into keyboards, it's a low middle end, but a really nice keyboard, right? And I put that away and put this down, and I haven't my obligation with Omen, #ad, ended, I think, at the beginning of this month. I don't know.
Should have been end of August.
I've kept that up there and I've kept using it. If that tells you anything at all, Like, I genuinely enjoy this. I have my only gripe, to be perfectly honest, the lights over the number pad that show you whether you're capsed or whatnot, they're a little too close. I can't see them. But I've gotten over that. So,
Hey,
I love this.
what if I wanted to buy one of those? Do you happen to know a place where I could do that, Cuddles?
Exclam Omen in my chat. There's a link right there. Or if you're listening to this online, go to twitch.tv/cuddles and click the HP Omen banner directly below the stream.
Bam. Look at that. I'm so proud
Like,
of you.
that's, I need the little like ding thing in my teeth. Like the end of the used car commercial.
I think we need to make a whole special overlay of effects just for when you talk about it, to be honest. Stinger transitions and everything.
Yeah, I have things like that.
I understand those words.
Yeah, no, I'm not the sort of guy that says that he loves a minimalist approach to overlays because I just don't know how to make them. It's not me at all. No, this in fact isn't the background. If you're watching this video, this isn't the same background that we used last time Dayball was on.
100% not.
No, totally not. Totally not at all. But no, so we do have, since we've been talking about conventions here, now we're talking about Bottle Spark. For folks that are going to be, obviously, if you're a content creator and like money, and more of it coming to you specifically, talk to these guys. Talk to these guys like now. Don't wait. But if they would be very interested in, after talking to you, meeting you at a convention, are you going to be any places the rest of the year?
Dude, I'm so stoked. Me TwitchCon this year. Hell yeah.
What?
I know.
All the way in San Jose, California.
Boy, am I thrilled that that's where they picked of all the places they could have picked.
I'm actually really jazzed. I've never made it north of Malibu because why?
Yeah, I mean, it'll be the second place in California I've kind of been to. Well, I guess kind of third. I took like a week after TwitchCon last year to go to the desert. But yeah, I am happy about it. I just think that Twitch needs to like realize they just need to do it in Vegas.
Or Orlando.
Or Orlando. No, not Orlando.
Yes,
it would be cheaper.
yes.
It would be cheaper, but I don't want to be in the state as much as I possibly can, and that's ridiculous. They're not going to do it in a cornfield, okay?
Cheap.
Yeah, I've actually gone to conventions in not Iowa, but I've done a couple Kansas and like a South Dakota. It's nice.
We have a place
it's
called Zombie Burger.
Dude,
So,
Twitch, get on this.
But like, I really do think they need to just start doing it in Vegas. The convention's getting too big for cities that are not prepared for it. Being in Long Beach last year, there was a lot of complaints about like bars just closing real soon. Like everything was full near the convention center. You had to go like quite a distance away to be able to get food in like a timely fashion. That would not be a problem in somewhere like Vegas.
I think they might need to take a leaf out of Blizzard's book and just pick a set location.
Oh my God,
people
please.
can just plan and then keep that stuff in mind, like bars being open or food being open.
Well,
I also
screw them
think
being open, but us being familiar. Like you go to Boston, I can tell you, I'm not going to, but I can tell you what bar everybody will be at night.
Mm-hmm.
I went in Seattle. I walked in every night to a bar where I was walking around and like, oh, like there's Shroud and Anthony Kong fan, and they're like the people that you would want to, as a business person, hang out with. They go to the same damn place every year because we know. In Long Beach, I went that entire weekend without seeing some people. Just because nobody knew what was going on. Nobody knows where to go. Nobody knows what to do. And it's a cluster.
Yeah. Had I not happened to be at the In-N-Out right side of LAX, the night that I got there, I wouldn't have seen my good friend Dan the Demon, who at the time lived in the same town as me. We saw each other all the time. But I wouldn't have seen him at the convention had I not happened to have been there at the same time that he went to get In-N-Out. So I think that's a problem. I think the other thing that TwitchCon needs to do is they actually need to adopt the PAX model and do multiple conventions a year. they need to have TwitchCon on the West Coast, and they need to have one on the East Coast half a year later. Do it in Atlanta, and you're fine. Or something like that. I honestly think that they need to do that. I thought they were going to announce that last year. I was surprised they didn't.
Yeah. Well, there's been rumors for as long as I have known about Guardian Con. There's been rumors that may get co-opted as Twitch East.
Man, if there's one place that would be worse than Orlando to do it, it would be Tampa. Sorry, I have a college-based hatred of Tampa.
You're not wrong. Because like
down in South Florida, that is Tampa.
The problems with Tampa is the bridges. Like it's Tampa. If you look at a map, it's like there's like an island or it's like a peninsula. I don't know the right term.
Weird.
There's a lot of water and you have to go over bridges and there's a lot of effing people there. So when there's like 4 bridges that you can cross to get into town, that becomes a problem.
Yeah.
It's just I would like Orlando though. I would really and truly I would love Orlando. We have a great convention center. It's a beautiful town. Weather's great year round. Twitch, throw it in December. We can go surfing. It'll be great.
You can't surf in Orlando. You're 45 minutes away from a beach.
There's actually a wave pool in Orlando. You can.
Get it. Yeah. All right. Get out of here.
There are several.
Anyway, I do think that they might do it at some point soon. The reason I said they were going to do it last year is they were pushing the TwitchCon app, which was just like the Twitch events app. And I was like, oh, so it's not just about TwitchCon this year. That means they're going to announce multiple TwitchCons. Because they're building some infrastructure to handle having multiple different kinds of events in one app. And I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. And then they didn't announce it. And I was very surprised. So I'm hoping this year they do.
See, the one thing that would worry me, I've I have picked up and swung about the flag of TwitchCon Vegas. However, as much as we just talked about work and people being professionals at conventions, there is also, I no longer worry about getting to a convention before noon or 1. My primary job there being to talk to and network with streamers for my stack up life. Obviously, I take meetings for myself and do things for me too. But my primary focus being there to be streamers don't show up before 1.
Yeah.
Because they're already out too late. Can you imagine? Dude, we lost somebody in San Diego. Do you remember that? We lost someone. The entire internet flipped out.
Guys,
Can
make
you
sure
imagine
you don't
if
go.
we would have entire stream teams go missing, man? Be like, where'd the creative community go? What's going on?
Don't go playing poker without telling anybody where you are.
Yeah.
There were so many good memes. And by the way, no one remembers her name anymore. Who did that? Nobody. Not many people, I think, would remember who it was. I certainly don't. But I certainly remember making memes about it. That was really fun. That was good times. Yeah. Look, man, I think Vegas would be good still. I think for that exact reason, Vegas
I'll tell you
fantastic.
What. I was very nervous. They had one of the Twitch parties at the Seattle Aquarium, and it has a hands-on part. So there's actually things that you can reach in and touch. And I was nervous. I was like, somebody is going to grab their phone and stream them putting an octopus on their head, or something ridiculous of that nature. You know,
we can only hope.
That party was amazing. It was phenomenal, and everybody was fairly well behaved. I didn't see anybody. Well, hold on. Everyone was very well behaved inside. The idiocy of people that don't know how to handle their alcohol at conventions is something that could command an entire other episode.
So it was the day after TwitchCon ended last year. We were at I think it was the Marriott that was connected to that hotel. And we were at the bar there, and it's pretty obvious that we were their TwitchCon. There was multiple colored-haired people, and the bartender there was like, "Oh, we just order whatever." He goes, "Oh, were you guys here for that last convention?" We're like, "Oh yeah, TwitchCon." He's like, "What was that?" And kind of told him. He goes, "Oh, okay, that makes maybe a little more sense." He's like, "Yeah." He goes, "So last night, I was talking to one of the other bartenders about how horrible people from that convention were." I was like, "Yeah, no, don't worry. We're like normal adults with jobs. Like you're fine with us." And he's like, no. Because so I was talking to my coworker and warning him, and there was this guy in like a nice shirt down at the end of the bar, and he goes, "Oh, you talking about the convention here? Oh, okay." He goes, "All right." So he's like, "Oh," it said his name was Emmett, and leaves a $100 tip and his business card. Is Emmett, the CEO of Twitch, heard these two bartenders complaining about the streamers from this convention and how horrible they were, and as an apology, left a note, "Sorry," and a $100 tip. We're like, "That's amazing." I was like, "Yeah, that sounds about right. Yep. Yeah." Yeah.
Nice.
That's why I want Vegas to happen. They would be prepared for that. Because I guarantee you, anything a streamer would do is not the worst thing any bartender in Vegas is.
21-year-old fresh college kid who decides to go out there.
I'm just scared that we wouldn't come home with everyone. Like, there would be folks left behind. Like, hey, did you hear what happened to so-and-so? Like, no, he hasn't streamed since TwitchCon.
I think I got Tourette's spit take.
That man fell under the Darwin paradox and just never made it back.
Oh man, one can hope and dream.
Oh.
My
But anyway, yes,
Vegas.
I'll be at TwitchCon.
People would lose their life savings at Vegas.
I mean,
Like they already do,
that,
but
yeah, they already do. That's not unique to Twitch streamers. It just would be less of a savings to lose.
You're not wrong. Jeez, man. I don't know. That's okay. So I selfishly don't want it to be in Vegas because I would be one of those. Vegas and I have a very interesting relationship. So
I've never been. It scares me.
I used to live in Phoenix, Arizona, and I would ride over to Vegas on the weekends. We would do copious amounts of illegal things, and then ride over to Vegas and
you mean jaywalking?
Well, mostly like jaywalking and like some light shoplifting. I once picked up several things inside of the convenience store and placed a tube of chapstick in my front pocket. Totally forgot about it on the way out. I went back.
How dare
I went back 3 days later and paid for it. So I felt the worst 3 days of my life. But with that, why don't we go ahead and put a bow on this thing by asking Dable, you have anybody that you'd like to shout out this week?
I would like to shout out. Oh, actually, okay. We did a weird one. I remember last time. I actually did one of my viewers. This time, I'm going to shout out someone on Twitter. Let me make sure I get his Twitter account pulled up properly. So this is the guy that actually does the Washington Post's like internet community stuff. He basically runs their Reddit stuff, which actually the Washington Post is doing interesting things on Reddit, and he runs their Twitch channel, which is super interesting to me because they actually like they'll live stream like big important congressional hearings and stuff like that. And even they do a show with politicians playing games. So like there's like the senator from Georgia was playing Madden with a dude named Gene. His name's Gene Park. He's at Gene Park on Twitter. What really astonishes me though is that the Twitch chat is really good without a lot of moderation. Like it is a mix of like people making jokes, but not going too far. and actually having intelligent discussions and asking good questions. And that makes me really happy as someone who used to do a news show on Twitch, seeing someone come in and take it very seriously. They weren't like, oh, whatever this Twitch thing is. Like, no, like they made sure they were a part, like they were using the emotes right. And like actually clearly did research. Also, Gene wrote and published a great article on why Nintendo is doing Waluigi dirty and needs to include him in Smash that was posted in the Washington Post's newspaper. So at Gene Park on Twitter, tell him I sent you. I love that boy. He's a super cool dude and is doing really amazing social media work.
I totally didn't realize that WAPO had a Twitch channel. That's kind of awesome.
Dude, and their branding on that channel is amazing. If you haven't seen it, they basically made like SNES cartridges, but the art is like old school political, like Nixon and Clinton's and Reagan's like campaign stuff.
Wow.
It looked like that's like they really, and it was made for only their Twitch channel. It's the only place it's used. So they actually took it very seriously.
That's really cool.
That, also,
that's entirely what. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
If you subscribe to the channel, you also get the Washington Post for free. I'm pretty sure. That's what
a physical copy?
Not a physical copy, digital.
Oh. Can I get a physical copy? Like, I live in Florida. Can I get the Washington Post?
Yeah, they have them like Starbucks and stuff. Like any newsstand.
But I couldn't have it like delivered to my house. Like there's not like a Washington Post guy out there on a bike.
I honestly don't know. But then I would ask you, what year are you in, sir?
Okay, so
you know there's crossword apps that you could just use. You don't have to get.
When I first got out of college and moved into a house with a young lady out of wedlock. I know. Ooh, the shame.
Not on this Christian Minecraft server.
I know, right? Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh. We one of the big things, I was like, I'm out of college. I'm, like I have a real job now. And like I had grown up and my parents got the paper. So I got the paper. And then I ended up canceling it because it made me feel bad. Because I worked in the restaurant business. So like I didn't get home till like 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning some nights. And like when I got there after the paper had already been delivered, like that just made me really sad. And then it took me about 2 years to realize that it was just like yesterday's news printed and left on my doorstep. Like shit that I had already read. Like no, I already knew about that. I do miss. I honestly, I miss the classifieds though. Like I miss. Like,
you mean
looking
Craigslist?
Through. No, screw Craigslist, and I don't. We're not gonna get into why I don't like Craigslist anymore. Let's move on. There's a story there. T, do you have any shout outs?
Yeah, I will shout out the CTR Guild because we ran our first raid recruitment event, and I'm gonna check it off as a success. So raid teams, hopefully you found some people. Hopefully you found some raid teams. Other than that, shout out to my son for kicking butt in first grade. He had a really rough day, and he's never going to listen to this. Maybe when he's older. Probably not, but that's fine.
Shout out future little turrets.
Yeah,
Maybe.
if you made it this far into the podcast, just like huge like pat on the back.
How bored are you? What is causing this?
Well done, little man.
Well, he loves that I podcast, like he tells everyone. And spoilers, he's been wanting to do a stream where he does my makeup for like weeks, months. He's been begging for it. So I think finally this Saturday we're gonna buckle down and just do it. And it's gonna be awful. Like it's gonna be bad. But he loves it. Like he wants to come sit with me when I stream when he goes to bed. So I'm like, no, you go to sleep. Yeah, he thinks I'm like the coolest person in the world, and it's great. Eventually he'll realize it's all a fraud, but it's fine.
Oh, they're so cute before they learn to tell us that they hate us.
Yeah. That's happened once in 6 years, and I cried hardcore. Oh man, being a parent's great, but those heartstrings.
So I I had to wake up early on Sunday and go to a karate recital. Because I don't think it was really karate. I think it's Taekwondo, and it's probably not a recital.
That's
But anyway,
racist. It's definitely not a recital.
why can't it be a recital?
It's just not the word they use.
But why can't it? Like it's.
Was it a belt ceremony?
No, it was like this like parent class thing, and I was not going like at all. Like I have no desire to wake up early and try to sweat. And my kid on Saturday, cuddle kid, he said something. I said like, "Hey, what are you doing tomorrow?" Because I was gonna be like, "Hey, we're gonna watch a movie or something," and he was like, "Oh, I have my thing tomorrow, but you can't come because your work is more important." And like my heart just broke into like a million pieces. And so we had this big talk about how my work's not more important than him. It's weird because he sees me at home working, you know, and I do things at weird hours. So yeah, my ass was up at 9 a.m. in a place that smelled like feet. Like really stinky feet. Like not even like I feel like even if you were into feet, this was a bad smell. And yeah, I went and did that. But yeah, that was my really long way of agreeing. They tugged the heartstrings.
I'm just saying, foster puppies never tell you that they hate you.
No, but
Yeah,
they
but
do
they-
wake up early to go to the bathroom.
And they
Like-
poop on more things than my child.
Look, man, we've only
Sometimes.
had like 2 accidents in the last few days.
That is awesome.
That's less than I've had. That's impressive. It's impressive. Sometimes things happen when you get older. When you get into like your third, like when you're younger, you're going to the bathroom and it's like everything's fine. You can go to the bathroom faster or slower. You get to my age and you're scared to move because you might poop yourself. Like you don't know. It's just anyway. I'm sorry. That's completely off topic. I'm going to
Hey, do
shout
you have
out.
any shout outs?
I thank you for bringing this back on track. I do have some shout outs actually. The entire Rubber Chicken coalition, my raid team in WoW. I did not I didn't raid at all in Legion. Like I left the team. They kept me on as their mascot, which I thought was the sweetest thing ever until I found out that it was because I had created the Discord, so they couldn't kick me out. But that worked out.
That is a
So
power move, by the way. Always create the Discord.
yeah, I kept I controlled the thing. But no, I finally transferred ownership over, and I think I'm still. I am not. I was listed as their mascot for the longest time. Now I don't have a role at all, actually.
It's too me in real life.
That's nice. But anyway, they let me come in like way under geared. I grabbed 30 eye levels this week, so hopefully that'll get me back in there and like actually doing some good stuff. But just thank you to all my friends that I've met through Warcraft that have led to me meeting amazing people like Dable through Twitch.
I say through not Warcraft.
Yeah, through not Warcraft. Through because of a random cigarette outside in Boston when it was way too cold to be standing outside. I met a guy from the Netherlands that then ended up hooking me up with this guy. I'm pretty sure did he do a TeamSpeak little you two should know each other? Did he do that?
Probably.
I feel like
I
he
would
did
say
that.
so.
And then we were both like, what the like, hi, random person that I don't know. I'll talk to you later. And now you're here on this
The rest is
podcast.
history.
That wasn't the greatest of stories. Really. Oh my gosh. Zenigami.
Oh, you thought we were going to end.
I did. Zen. How are you doing, Bay? How are you doing? Okay, so for those listening to the podcast, because I'm gonna fail to edit this, we are getting raided by a wonderful Twitch streamer. Somebody that I met at PAX, since we're talking about origin stories, at PAX South. No, South by Southwest? When did we first meet? I don't know. But oh my gosh, the raid just keeps on coming. Katsu, Ziggs, we're going to do, I'll tell you what, we're going to roll credits real quick and we'll come back and do a quick little after show. For those that are joining in, my name is Cuddles. I am a full-time variety broadcaster here on Twitch. Sunday evenings at 10 p.m. we do something called the Game Case Show. It's a Blizzard / WoW oriented podcast, and it's a little bit different, but it's a lot of fun. Tonight we had this wonderful guy over. I can never know which.
You gotta have the stream up at the same time, man. Or you have OBS. What are you doing? You have no excuse.
I have OBS there.
This, by the way, is
here,
why I mirror flip my camera, so it is 1-to-1.
Yes, it was. You saved me from the wrong line. I do that. That is what. Hold on, we're gonna talk about this. Let me roll my credits. You guys hang out. We'll be back in just a moment. Turarts. Wait, no. Dable, where can people find you on the internet?
Twitter.com/Dable, Twitch.tv/Dable. It's DAEBOL. Just Google search that shit. You'll see me. You'll see me.
There you go. Turarts. Dable, say bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to The Game Case Show. Be sure to follow us on Twitter. You can find Cuddles at The Game Case, Turarts at Turarts, and you can find the show at The Game Case Show. Join us live Sunday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern at twitch.tv/thegamecase. Archived episodes are available at youtube.com/thegamecase. The theme music for the show is Celtic Impulse by Kevin MacLeod of Incompetech.com and is licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 3.0.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
we're back on.
I just noticed that. We're back.
Hi.
We're back. Yeah, no, we do. We got you got to cite the Creative Commons, right?
Sure.
On your left
Maybe.
or your right. So you flip it?
Yeah, I mirror my cam when I stream, so that way when I point to the right, it's the right. I'm pretty sure I do that. I did that at one point. Who knows if that still is that way? I rarely ever have to gesture at things.
So that's you pointing to, as I'm watching the screen.
Well,
pointing
I don't
to
know
the
if it's happening on this because it's in Discord.obs. In
Oh,
OBS,
that's right.
I do a little hoo-hoo and then...
But then what do you do if you're wearing a shirt like this that you want people to know that you are a proud patron of Monk Meditation, a podcast that hasn't existed for about 3 years?
I don't.
Oh.
I'm usually wearing a hoodie, so it doesn't really matter.
See, now I wanna try this. How do I?
Some kind of douchey hoodie that shows off my affiliations.
Oh my gosh, that's horrible! And you can see my room now.
Well, maybe don't do that then. What did you do to flip it?
Oh crap! We've got things have gone horribly wrong.
Huh? We are still live.
I don't know what to do. All right, we're back. We're back. It's okay. It's okay.
This has been Directions with Cuddles. Welcome to the stream.
Yeah, no, professional.
Look, we're
I'm
top end.
a pro.
Top end stuff. All right. This is actually remarkably well put together compared to what is usually seen on my channel. So that's fine.
Well, there's like one static screen, so that's
Yeah.
it. I remember I used to do like transitions and things. Like I was like, well, like I'll go to the person and then like make them big, and like no, that's not possible without a producer.
Zenigami, I probably could do that if I put literally any effort into figuring that out, but that's not my brand. Hello, cat.
That is not my brand.
It's not my brand. I put a lot of effort into other things that are not in any way visible or usually that important. Sometimes they're important.
You asked how I did that, like right-click properties in OBS.
Yeah.
And just flipped. And then I clicked the wrong... I get horizontal and vertical, like, confused.
Dude, I literally never get it right.
Yeah. It's one of those things where I know that one of them is the one that I think it is, but I don't know. It's like if you meet